Hello YouTubers and Random.2 fans, it's me, Ozzy, and today we're going to be doing a little predictions video for the 2022 B&M sets. Now yes, this is a little bit late, but stuff kind of got in the way, but we're here now, and I think everyone's just getting very thirsty to find out what these sets are, so hopefully I get a lot of clicks on this, and hopefully you guys stick around until the end, because average view duration ups up the monetization, so that'd be great. Now, okay, right, so where are the new sets? I have no idea, don't ask me. I'd love to know what's going on with them, because I'm a bit worried that maybe, I hope they're not being cancelled or anything, because the wait seems to be a bit long this time around, but maybe it's just my perception being off. But anyway, let's have a look at these predictions. Now I apologise that my face isn't here, but well, who cares really? You're just seeing like a vortex or something moving right now. I don't know, because I can't be bothered filming myself. But anyway, let's get into this. So, these are my predictions. Now, I'm going to say right off the bat that these are more what I want to see rather than what we probably will get. So people are going to probably call me out on a couple of things saying, oh, well, they couldn't do that because X, Y, and Z. But I'm just picking what I want to see because it's my channel, my rules, I can do what I want. So first up, let's have a look at the First Doctor and TARDIS set, but I'd love to see this variant of the Doctor in 5-inch form because, well, quite frankly, if I attempted to make this, I probably couldn't do a very good job. It would be a really nice one for them to do. There are parts which you can reuse. I'd like an entirely new jacket piece and new arms just to differentiate it, and like binoculars accessory or something like that, so I would like some new tool in here and there, but I think it would be a very cool variant to have something. William Hartnell basically wore the same outfit throughout his tenure and changed very minor things, so it'd be really nice to see something like this in 5-inch form. Now for the TARDIS, we've been told that it's electronic. Now, people will probably disagree with this, but that's fine. I would love to see like a snowy TARDIS. I don't know, I've always wanted to have a TARDIS with a lot of snow on it before, but I've just never got around to making a custom of it, and I think it would really set it off on display. You have a white action figure and a whitish TARDIS. I think it would look very cool. It would be cool to release it at Christmas, but that's not going to happen. Okay, so let's look at that 8th Doctor set. So we've been told that it's an 8th Doctor collector's set. We have no idea what this entails, but this is what I would want to see. So for the 8th Doctor, it's essentially a re-release of the 11 Doctor set version, which I think is a much needed re-release, and I'd like a couple of paint revisions as well, because just to make it that little bit more accurate. And I'd like him to come with his sonic screwdriver accessory, because we haven't seen a sonic screwdriver accessory in a long time, and it'd be nice to have them back. For companions, I chose Chang Lee. Sure, you can probably get away with using legs from a Stephen Hart or something like that, but I would like an entirely new torso and arms and head sculpt. That'd be great. And an Eric Roberts Master. I would love an entirely new sculpt of this, because I just want this in 5-inch form. I love the Eric Roberts Master, and I love how he looks in a Time Lord robe, so I'd love to see that. So for the 9th Doctor set, I've chosen the 9th Doctor from the flashback, where he is in like the Victorian get-up with the Daniels family of Southampton.
The Daniels family of Southampton.
I'd love to get that articulated Rose figure. Come on, Billy Piper, just let us have it. I know you don't like merchandise of yourself being made now, but it'd be so nice to have this figure, please. It's one of my most wanted figures. And for the villain, I think for all these sets you definitely need a villain, so I'd love an android figure. Sure, do it rotocast or whatever to make it cheaper. I just love this as an action figure. It is kind of hard to think of a monster for the 9th Doctor era we haven't had, because a lot of people said, oh, just re-release an Auton, but there's millions of those things flying around. Why would I want another one of those? For the 10th Doctor set, I focused on the specials, so the 10th Doctor himself would be the newly revised articulated version, which we saw a prototype of, with the End of Time head sculpt and a blue shirt to mimic the next Doctor attire, because I really like that outfit. I'd also like a Flood monster. I used a Walking Dead figure as just as fodder for this mock-up, because it looks kind of cool. You can get away with using Nick Cutter arms and legs. Just give us a new jacket piece and we're all good to go. The David Morrissey next Dr. Jackson Lake you can also get away with reusing legs. There's a common theme. You can kind of get away with reusing legs, because who really cares about what legs look like? But yeah, a new jacket piece, new waistcoat and all that kind of stuff, and a new head sculpt would be absolutely fantastic, because it'd be such a nice figure to have. For the 13th Doctor set, credits Rebel Whovian for the jacketless 13th Doctor. Maybe I'd swap this out for a black coated one like in Flux, but for the monsters, I've put 2 new additions here. sure, at a stretch, maybe you could get away with reusing the boots and the kneecaps from an old classic Sontaran figure, but I'd want it to be 90 to 95 to 100% new, because it's essentially a completely different design, and it's a really cool design, and I'd just love to see this in 5-inch form. The Cyber Warrior figure would be an entirely new sculpt, but I think it's definitely worth the investment. Now, if anyone from CO is watching, sets like this are really good for making new figures, because I myself, I'm not a massive fan of these Cybermen, but I would army build, so I'd buy at least 3 of these sets, and I know a lot of people that would buy many more of these sets to army build Sontarans and Cybermen, so it's definitely worth the investment of the new sculpting to get some new figures. Same applies to the Nightmare Silver Cyberman and various other army building action figures which we could possibly have. The Planet of the Daleks set B, which we did have the first one with the 2 opening domes, but this one I have kind of pushed the boat out a little bit just to make it look that much better on the shelf. We obviously need a re-release of the Planet Supreme. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen, we're definitely going to get that. But the other figure I've included is the CSO Dalek. For those of you who don't know, CSO is basically green screening. They used yellow to do the CSO work on a Dalek prop when it was emerged through the spray paint. I think this would be a really cool piece to have. It'd really set it off on display and just be a really nice one-off Dalek to have, and you could include it on the bio on the back. It would just look so cool. So it's like half metallic grey and half spray painted yellow. I think it would be really nice to see this. I know a lot of people probably would disagree and want the clear one, but, you know, keep the clear one rare. That's kind of cool as it is. So the next story would be the Death to the Daleks set. Now, I just want a plain re-release of the one with the machine gun with the orange headlights. Obviously, give it the revised headlights. But my other idea for the other figure in the set is to have kind of a weathered, muddy kind of, as if it's been through the sand and stuff, because, you know, the props were kind of a bit mucky towards the end of it, I guess, and have like a swappable neck and head piece to have like fire coming out, because that's a big selling point I think for these Dalek sets, is give them all a gimmick. Sure, yes, new tooling for the neck and head section, but I'm pretty sure that's not too far-fetched to ask for, and to have like a piece which looks like it's on fire would be absolutely awesome. I'd love to see this. I spent ages trying to think of a cool gimmick for this set, but the Genesis of the Daleks set would be very basic. You just have a standard Genesis drone and a gunless drone or a plungerless drone, one of the two. Make sure you give them the correct glossy kind of paint apps that you did on the first Dalek Collector's set, because that's how they looked in the episode, and I think every release after that got a little bit more inaccurate, so it'd be nice to go back to how it originally looked. And the thing that would set this off would be the accessories. You'd have to include a mutant and a Dalek gun, which, whether or not you can plug it into the figure, I don't think that's essential. Now, Destiny of the Daleks is quite a difficult one. I think you definitely have to have 2 sets. So what I've done is I've done the squadron leader on the left, which was a darker grey with the bombs on it, because that would be a really cool variant to have, and not necessarily a very easy custom to make. And it would be nice to have a revised Destiny light grey drone, the one with the black oval and the black slats and the band, and the raised neck section as well. That would require new tooling, but I think it would set it off on display and just look very different. And the second version of the set would be the squadron leader without the bombs, and the light grey drone with the bombs. So you get essentially the same figure, but with and without bombs, but in different sets, which I think would be a good idea. Alright, so this is an interesting one, the Dalek and Davros pack. I reckon it's probably going to be a Genesis set, to be honest, but I would like to see something a little bit more out there. So I've chosen to go for a big finish route and go for the Juggernauts version of Davros and the Dalek. Credit to Captain Jimmy Pie, of course, for the custom. But it'd be really nice to see these 2 figures just as something a little bit different. And I would definitely like to see an entirely new sculpt for the Imperial Necros Dalek hybrid. They just look very different to the standard Shawcraft design. And my other version for the set would be a Revelation of a Dalek set with the Great Healer Davros. Now, this is not going to happen, but it would be something that I would absolutely love to see. Well, I mean, it'd only happen if we demanded it. So guys, if you want to see a Great Healer Davros, then let me know in the comments down below and we can get one made. Come on, the fan power combined, we can get a Great Healer Davros, come on. And a Necros Dalek, I'd want an entirely new tooling, because the figure we got looks very different from what's seen on screen. There's many differences, an entirely different sculpt, so please character, please, a new sculpt for the 80s Daleks, that'd be brilliant. But yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. This took a lot longer than I thought it would to make, so thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.